in that old curiosity shop.
Hey everyone, take a look at this wonderful chrome ice bucket. This is fantastic. Now, I've had this once before, a few years ago, and it'll clean up nicely. You see it has embossed grapes around the outside, and then of course it's all taped shut, but it's got its innards. And of course you pull back on the top, and this little cantilevered thing here will, you pull it back this way, and the lid will open. You see it's hinged here. And it's only marked on the bottom, United, and then the word solid brass. So I'm going to put this in. Now this thing, I'm not exactly sure. I would date it sometime between, it's in that 1930s, 40s, 50s type of era. So I'm excited to pick that up. It is $10, but I will receive a 10% discount today. That doesn't do much, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Oh, look, little paper doily things. Boy, you sure do get a lot for $4. My goodness, what could I do with all of those? Little paper doily things. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I've just left my first store, and you know what that is? It's a bundle of Cobalt. Let's get this paper ripped off of it. Nasty plastic and tape. Okay, and hopefully we won't find a whole bunch of chips. Nah. Anyway, it's the Hazel Atlas hairpin / Newport pattern, and I've never had it in cobalt blue. I see it in the purple, you know, the amethyst.
But this is my first chance to get any of it. I'm still fiddling with it down here. It's the first chance I've had to get any of it in cobalt. Ooh! You're going to see it in just a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to get all of the pieces out. So far, I don't see any chips. Wonderful. Okay, yeah.
Great. Okay, so what I've got here are 3. That's the underpants. And that is the what? The cream soup. Cream soups are generally, well, they are larger than a bouillon or a broth or a bouillon. So definitely cream soups. The 2 handles gives it away as well. And those are the underplates for it. And it certainly was okay in the 1930s, and Emily Post said so. It was totally acceptable to pick up your cream soup, yeah, when you get near the bottom, and you can drink the remainder rather than clanking away at a spoon. You were permitted to drink from your cream soup. That's why it has 2 handles on it. So I have 3 of these. Value, probably nothing. I mean, I'll probably almost break even on them. But it was just a matter of the fact that I've never had this in cobalt. So I have 3. Maybe I'll sell 2 and keep 1 as an example. Who knows what I'll do. But I do know I'm going to start the car and go to the next thrift store. Come on, you're not doing anything. Oh, drat. And the reason I'm saying drat is because there's a nasty crack right there. This is a piece of Cristal or Chippendale. They're referred to as both Chippendale pattern. Cristal spelled K-R-Y, I think dash S-T-O-L. Anyway, a lot of times it's marked. And this one is marked, but you can't very well hardly see it in the mold, but it is stamped Cristal under there. And I really like this glass. I forget who the designer was. You can look him up. And I think this was made by a couple of companies, maybe Jefferson Glass. Again, my memory, but it's a pattern that you'll see. You will see this. Yes. Anyway, it's old and I'm in people's way, so I think I'll insert a little bit of information about Crystal / Chippendale, and then you can start looking for it. And I can't wait to get outside to show you what's in my car. What's in my car? Well, I can tell you, it's going to be a funny day. You know, here's another example. I said, I don't want to stop at that Goodwill because I have to make a U-turn, and in New Jersey you can't make left-hand turns. There's no such thing. They're all jug handles. Of course, I'm used to that. I was born and raised here, so. But it was like, I got other stuff I want to do. You never ever say no. You always stop, no matter how tired you are or how much you've got to do. Even if you were just there yesterday, you stop. And you know why? Because of things like this. This is one of those, well, you already know what it is, but look, it's a skinny one. Let's try to get it out of there without losing all of the little beep, 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 beep. You know, these little dudes, and they're not glued in. So we'll just peek at the top of it. And, you know, normally I don't like to sit here and waste your time while I'm taking plastic wrap off of things, but let's just look at the top of it. So it's a skinny one. First skinny one I've ever had. I think these were made to be able to sit in a window, maybe. Or maybe you just don't want one of those big fat Christmas trees. So there it is. I had to pay for it. $6.99. And it has a spot on the top for the star. I don't know if the star is in there. The star might not be in there. Oh, whoopee fizz. You can replace those. And I should have said earlier when I was saying cobalt, I should have said Ritz blue, because as you know, Hazel Atlas referred to their cobalt blue as Ritz. And then I was coming around the corner. And of course I said, well, you can't say no to Forest Green Anchor Hocking Punch Bowl. You got to do it. There's the punch bowl. The kicker is the base is with it. The bases were separate. It's taped on here upside down. But those bases alone, you know, most of the time, as I say, they somehow get separated. Just the punch bowl and the base. And then clear in a whole other part of the store where there were a bunch of sneakers and old coffee makers were the cups. So there's probably 12 in there. And I forget what I paid for those. That was $4.99 for all of the cups. So mid-century Anchor Hocking Forest Green, you know how that goes. And now in the back of my truck, I can't wait to show you this. Come on, let's go look at it. Take a look at that. I know you already know what that is. If you've been fiddling around with antiques, who could say no? Especially because of the original condition. There it is, all folded up. Let's zoom in. Really? Look at this old mohair upholstery. And the old upholstery tacks. Now, this may have had a needlepoint seat, and this is something that might have been redone in the 1930s. It's made of mahogany, and it's late Victorian, 1880s, 1890s. It's all original in terms of the finish, but most likely this mohair is something that, if it was still being used by somebody in the 1930s, they might have stuck that on there, because I don't think this would have been upholstered in mohair in the 1880s. Let's open it up. There it is, and we'll spin it around and let you see it from the front. Who can say no to a folding camp chair? This is the kind of thing that could be taken out onto a front porch, taken to a church meeting on the grounds, you know, that kind of thing. Taken on a camping trip, set up in the backyard under a tree, and or just used anywhere you like. So completely folding chair. There might be some foundry marks somewhere on the iron. I haven't really looked to see. I'm actually still just studying it now. Having really just getting it into the house. Okay, so yeah, there might be no, it could be. And then really, if we turn it upside down and see any ghost marks from upholstery tacks that were on here prior. Yeah, we've got, in fact, you know what, boys and girls, we've got I think we've got 2 layers of upholstery here. This being, or was that sewn on there? Yeah, that's just like a burlap backing that was sewn on to give extra strength to this. I don't think we have, no, there's not a different upholstery under there. Okay, no worries, very good. I didn't expect there to be. All right, so slide that back. What did I pay for it? I don't know, like $15. Does anybody want anything like this anymore? No, everybody wants mid-century modern. I don't care. It's mine. What am I gonna do with it? I don't know. Maybe I'll fold it up and stick it in the attic. No, you know what? Hey, as soon as I get the old pump organ restored that's in the basement at my mother's house, I can do portable Victorian funerals. Ah! I can start a new trend. Have the 1890s funeral of your dream. I show up with my folding camp chair and a pump organ, right? How about that? 2 choruses of Abide With Me. The check is in the mail. Ah, I'm loving it. Well, anyway, that might not be everybody's idea of a fun afternoon. Let's go do something else. This was great. Look at that mahogany detail. Gosh. 150 years old, that chair. Okay, something else I've been wanting to show you for a while is this oil painting. Oh, I've had it for less than a year, and I bought it at a local Goodwill. I paid maybe $25 for it. And I don't really know anything about it other than I think it's quaint. I'll let you see the whole thing in just a second, but you look down here, you'll see that it's dated 1939, and that's definitely a 1930s picture frame. Obviously, this person had some training and definitely some talent. his face, I think, is particularly well done. And hands are not easy. If we scroll down to the hand, yeah, hands are tough to paint. And so we definitely have a nice facial expression there, and she looks very sweet too. So she's doing some knitting or needlework or something there, and he's reading. Perhaps she's doing some sewing. This looks like maybe a little sewing box. And I think you can see the hint of needles. I don't know. It's almost got a European feel to me. So who knows? I don't believe that it has any value other than just decorative. I think it's well done. I like the colors. It's in good condition. Yeah. It's big. Let me back up. You can see how large it is. I don't find a signature anywhere. And of course, you know, I know enough to take canvases out of frames and look. Been doing this for a long time. You look for things on the back, you look for signatures in other places, and it's not signed by any particular artist. So, but it might be just a study that someone did in art school. Who knows? But I like it. And I like to collect things and have interesting things on the wall that are somewhat unusual. And I hope you like that painting as well. I'll try to back up some more. I have to watch myself where I'm stepping. There we go. And please ignore what's on the top. Folks, I am constantly moving things, and you know that. And I would never really have that sitting up there on that. I have to say that because people will comment and they'll say, oh my gosh, that looks ridiculous, that glass that you have up there on that cabinet. And it does look ridiculous. It's just sitting there while I'm moving things around, as I am wont to do. Okay, what do you think? I like it. I like it. What do you think is going on in that painting? What would the caption be? I guess we won't ever know, will we? Okay, let's have a little review here, a little thrifting review. I brought everything into the house, although nothing has been washed yet. But indeed, we have 12 punch cups. All 12 of them are there. And there it is, all set up the way that it would be. Of course, if there were punch in it, the cups wouldn't be piled up inside. They would be all around the outside. And I'm certain that next Christmas we'll figure out what to do with that. There's the ice bucket. I don't know. I don't think I got you to see that the inside is lined in glass, heavy, thick glass that looks like it's been silvered on the other side. Perhaps that's got something to do with helping to keep it cold. But it's that's it there. So that's a nice quality ice bucket. There's my skinny tree. I have to figure out what you call these. Do you call them skinny trees, flat trees? Of course, everybody knows you can go out to the big box craft stores and replace these little plastic jewels. They're not light bulbs. You guys know that. Because every single one of you who watches my channel, you're old enough, you made one of these in somebody's basement ceramic class in 1978. You know that you did. Look at this beautiful EAPG glass pitcher. Yep, it's pressed, not cut. Nice condition. Look at that big, I don't know, what kind of flower is that? Oh, I'm not going there. I'm not going to go there with what kind of flower is that. And then the hairpin cream soups in Ritz Blue by Hazel Atlas. You already displayed that Philby bowl. You're losing your mind. You bought that a couple days ago. No, a couple of days ago, I bought the next size up. And when I bought it, I said, I never find Philby mixing bowls. And doggone it, 3 days, 2 days, 5 days later in another store, I find the next size, the next smaller size. So I've got the biggest and then the next. And we're just going to keep going. Maybe we'll put together a whole set of sapphire blue Philby nesting. And the sapphire blue, it's just a hint of blue. I also, believe it or not, found another piece of fry glass. You saw the steak plate a few days ago, and now there is a pie plate. Now, there was an agreement, a licensing agreement with Corning oven glass, you know, Pyrex, so that they could offer this glass, this oven glass, the Fry Glass Company. And here we'll see Fry oven glass. It was not made in 1959. I can't see that. Anyway, that's just our 18, 19, whatever that number is there. That's simply some type of a mold number, production number, something like that. But there are the patent dates. I told you this is old glass. So we've got May the 8th, 1917, and May the 27th, 1919. That's an old pie plate, and there's that wonderful phosphorescence that you get with Fry glass. And then I found 3 more Vitroc. I'll get them all together eventually. You could have, let's see, you could have blue, pink and green, and yellow, and apparently ivory as well. Vitroc is the type of sort of a milk glass that was produced by Anchor Hocking, and they referred to it as Vitroc. And yes, some of the vases will glow. But you know me, it's not a big deal to me whether things glow or not. So there's the underplate, the Lotus plate, and then the Lotus cup for dessert. These are great. Get them all together and you can have a really nice springtime, Easter time. So I'll keep searching for these until I get a set of them. Hey, how about that, right? I'll ignore this over here. That's not thrifted. That just always sits on my little kitchen table. Well, let's see here. The old kitchen clock has been plugged in now for several days. It's running beautifully. And you know what I'll eventually do is I will cut this electric wire. I will shorten it so that it only comes down, and we'll have an old escutcheon right here. And I'm going to get rid of this 1980s, 90s push switch. And we'll have an old-timey switch here with the correct escutcheon plate over that. And then I'll cut the cord so that we don't have all this extra hanging down stuff. And the cord will just go from there to there. And that clock stays there. So this Deco clock has been running now for several days. And it's very quiet. And it keeps excellent time. So I'm excited about that. Okay, well, what does that clock say? That's not what time it is right now. But I guess that doesn't really make a difference, does it? I almost forgot. And how could you forget? Another big, beautiful EAPG vase. You could put a lot of gladiolas in that. Now look at the shape of this vase. Not the same as the 2 that I recently sold. Maybe the same maker, may not be, but a very different shape to the top, and it's a beauty. Take a look at that. Oh my, it stands probably 12 inches tall, and it has no damage on it at all. Pinwheels and buttons and spirals and stippling and saw teeth and all kinds of whatnot designs on it. And it probably weighs, that's a good 4, maybe 5 pounds with nothing in it. It's good. There's a lot of clarity to this glass. And even though it's pressed and not cut, you still, on this particular piece, because there's such nice clarity to this glass, you get a lot of dancing around. off of all the different facets. So I'm not sure, I guess probably my Monday Night Live sale. We'll see about that. Now, before I go, I would like to entice you to join me. I'm working on a special program for you, and I'm going to show you a piece of glass right now. And I suppose if you've been watching me for a long time, you will remember when I found this. You might even remember what I called it. Well, I know what it is. Do you know what it is? Okay. It's going to be difficult unless you really know your 1920s and 30s glass. So if you need to Google image it, I will allow you this time, but only this once.
Oh, that rather takes my breath away.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, take a look. I'm going to be talking all about the company, at least as much as I know, and a little bit more about this glass in an upcoming episode of The Old Curiosity Shop. But do you know who made that? If you do, tell me in the description box below, and we'll see you in an upcoming video where we discuss this in detail and some other glass from that particular company as well. Okay, that's it. I got 1,000,001 other things to do, so I want to say thank you for watching today's variety show hodgepodge. And if you'd like more of this sort of non-script, well, everything I do is non-scripted, but just something different than running up and down the Goodwill aisles. Although I know you love those shop-alongs as well. Hey, have yourselves a wonderful Thursday, and until I see you again, smile a little bit. I'm Scott from The Old Curiosity Shop saying, wait for the cat, and so long for now. One of these days, I'm just going to have to keep one of these. That's a beauty. Wine glass? Not for me.